Alright, so in this section of the course, we're going to be building a user registration form. And how this is going to work in our example is we're going to build a form allowing students to register a profile on the website. And we're going to have a drop-down field that allows them to choose their course organizer for whatever course that they're studying. And then what we're going to do is we're going to use that course organizer field in the view that we create later on to filter the entries so that course organizers only see the students that they're teaching. So it might sound a little confusing now, but don't worry, everything will be quite clear as we go on. So let's start creating the form. We can do that by just hovering over Forms and clicking New Form. And we'll give it a name, Student Registration. Okay, so now we can start adding fields using the Gravity Forms drag and drop editor here. So let's start with a name field. So we'll go to the advanced fields and drag in a name field. So that'll be the student's name. Let's see, email is probably a good idea. In fact, the email field is required to register users through the user registration add-on. So we need that one. Okay, so we're also going to add a username field and a password field. So these fields are actually added to Gravity Forms by the user registration add-on. Okay, so we got all the kind of information we need to register an account. Maybe we'll add their phone number, the phone number field there. Okay, and at this point, feel free to add whatever fields you feel are necessary if you're following along here. We're going to just keep things real simple for this example. But there's one more very important field we need to add, and that's a drop-down field. And this is a drop-down that's going to include all of the course organizers. So we'll just change the label here. There we go. Now what we want to do is, in this field, we're going to use populate anything to dynamically populate the field choices. Because each course organizer has a profile already on our website with a user role of course organizer. So instead of having to enter each course organizer's name manually in the dropdown, we can just populate that dynamically. So here we are in the field settings, and we're just going to click populate choices dynamically. There we go. And now we need to choose the type of information that we want to populate it with. And in this case, it's going to be user. Okay, so loading results. All right, so now we need to choose a label and a value. And this is actually exactly what we want here. So we want the label to be the display name, and we want the value to be the user ID. And the reason for that is that later when we create the view, we're going to filter the view based on the user ID of the logged in user. Okay, so there's one more thing we need to do. If we just scroll up, we need to add a filter group. Because right now it's going to populate the dropdown with every user on our website. And we don't want that because we also have students registering, and we don't want students to be able to select other students as their course organizer. So to mitigate that, we're going to add a filter group, and we can choose here from the dropdown, and we're going to select role. And then if we select we can select a user role. So we're going to select the course organizer user role. So what that'll do is limit the choices in the dropdown to only users with the role of course organizer. And if you're wondering how we created the course organizer role, because that is not a default WordPress role, we use the members plugin, the free members plugin. And you can see there should be a link to that in the course write-up or in the video description. Okay, so that's it. Let's go ahead and save the form. And let's preview it just to make sure everything is the way we want it. Okay, so everything looks good here. If we scroll down, we can see the course organizer dropdown. If we click on that, you can see it automatically populates the choices with the course organizers on the website. All right, perfect. So the next thing we need to do is go ahead and embed this form on our website. And that's really simple now in Gravity Forms. All you need to do is click this embed button here. And here you can decide if you want to create a new page, add to existing content, or simply just copy the form shortcode and paste it into a shortcode module. In this case, let's go ahead and let's create a new page. So page name, student registrations, and click create. Okay, so as you can see, we're in the block editor and we've got our form here. Let's go ahead and turn off the title and we'll click publish. Okay, great, view page. Okay, perfect. So there is our student registration form.